God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps, the ski mask.
Cracking YouTube, it's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Yeah, we getting ready to kick off part 3 of coming home from a life sentence. I remember about $40, man, about $40 for the travel lodge. Damn. And I used to go to the Radisson in Montana, and I would get a real big, giant, nice suite, you know, with 2 big-ass bedrooms up in there for $80.
What? Yeah. That is unheard of right now.
At the Radisson, yeah.
So when you damn, $40?
$40, yeah.
2 $20 bills?
Yeah.
Golly. Speaking about Montana, I've always noticed that you've mentioned a lot about Montana. Were your ties to Montana only like when you was like in jail in Montana or something, or you was in Montana out of jail?
Oh no, see, in 1989, I went out to Montana before I'd even you know, was being pursued, you know, for my case and my charges and stuff, because initially I caught a charge and then I ended up going on the run, so I didn't get caught for a whole year later. So yeah, so from 89 to 93, I was actually living in Montana. You know, I had a Montana driver's license, all that, you know.
Oh, okay.
So I was out there hustling and, you know, doing, I was out there in the streets and shit. That's where I met all those pimps, Fox, Ice Cream, you know, all these different characters, Rufus, you know, a lot of pimps and stuff out there.
Was that where Crafty B is from?
No, Crafty B is he's from California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get out and you have kids?
Yes,
So when you get out and you see your kids, tell us how that was, like seeing them, being able to hold them. Like, explain to us how that feeling was, because I know that was traumatic.
Oh, well, it was wonderful, you know.
Not traumatic, but you know, it was like it was a deep thing, like.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Finally being able to, you know, because when I went to prison, my daughter was 8 months old. So when I came home, she was 25.
Wow.
You know, and so she'd always would come visit me. We'd write, stay in touch. You know, they had a program called Get on the Bus. And it was basically these, it's like, I think it was a Catholic church, like once or twice a year. You know, they put on this, like an event where you could go sign up for a bus ride or whatever, and they would bring your kids up to see, you know, give them lunch, breakfast, and toys and stuff. And so, you know, she came up then, her mom would bring her, my mom would bring her. So I always had a real close relationship with my daughter. But finally being able to come home and be with her and stuff was wonderful.
When you came home, did she have kids or anything like that?
Yeah, she has 2 kids.
So you came home as a grandparent.
Right.
So that's like a big bundle of joy. How was that?
Right. Oh, that was wonderful as well. You know, just like I said, I went to prison. My daughter was 8 months. When I come out, you know, she has two children. So it was just, you know, it was wonderful, man. It was making an adjustment, getting to see them and know them, and, you know, be in their lives. And so it was extremely fulfilling.
That's dope, man. That's dope, because I know there's a lot of people that come home that might have kids, and the relationship might not be there to where they could come home and see each other, because the kid or something might have some sort of resentment towards their parent being gone or something. But that's beautiful that you came home and you did all that. Was there like when you came home and you seen your daughter, did you guys have that vibe at all? Because I kind of went through something like that with like my pops. You know, you did 20 years. When you came home, was there ever like a thing of like resentment, or was it all just everything that's been done, the time is it's away, but you're here now and this is what we're going to focus on when we move forward? Or was it you came home and there's still some, you still kind of mad or something about, she might still be mad about the past or something, if that makes sense?
You know, exactly. No, there was definitely some resentment because, you know, she had to grow up without a father, you know, so
yeah,
basically, a father in her daily life,
yeah,
you know, and there came a time when she would ask me, you know, why did you do the things you did, you know, why did you do the things that you done? Why didn't you care enough, you know, because actually when I was charged with the crime that I came to prison, when I got charged with that, she was still in her mom's stomach. Her mom was like 8 months old, 8 months pregnant with her.
Really?
So of course, after a while, she's wondering like, well, and when are you coming home? And I don't remember, but she said I would tell her that I'm coming home in 4 months, or 3 years or 4 years. I don't remember. She said I told her I was in jail. I was tossing a kid up in the air and I dropped him on his head. I don't remember telling her that, but of course I didn't want to tell her that. At 7 or 8 years old that I'm in jail for what I was in jail for.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Which is a bit much to tell a young kid. So, but yeah, she definitely had some resentment because a parent is gonna be a parent. It's not like I can come home and see something going on with her or see her doing anything I think that I can help her with as far as some information or physically and not say something. So it was very different for her to suddenly, not have a father. Now I'm back trying to insert myself into her life and to tell her this and to tell her that. So yeah, there was she really resented the fact that I wasn't there, and she never expressed that much while I was in prison. But once I came home, it was kind of hard for her just to have me back, and she wanted to know why, why I didn't care enough not to, be involved in the streets. And when her mom was pregnant with her, why didn't I stop doing the things that I started doing? So yeah, it was definitely some resentment.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I know that situation all too well. So you come home, everything's getting back together, your life's getting in order. I don't know if you spoke on this, but I want to know, and I'm sure that people want to know, how did you stumble across YouTube? Was this something you spoke about before you came home, or was this something like someone told you about and you kind of like, let me check it out? Or explain how this whole thing happened.
Well, basically, when I was in prison, I was an avid reader. I read a lot of things, man. I used to read a lot of books, a lot of National Geographic books, Time magazine, all these type of just books that, of course, would talk about, YouTube and basically things that was going on in the world that was current. And so, of course, I by just reading about YouTube and not being able to necessarily see it and deal with it, I still didn't quite understand the power of YouTube, as far as, or the power of social media, period. Of how you could be talking in California, but people seeing you way in Japan or Europe somewhere. So, but it was always something that I was aware of due to my reading. But being aware of it and getting able to experience it firsthand is something totally different.
So when you come out, there's cell phones. When you went in, there were cell phones, right?
Well, sort of. Yeah, but they wasn't the cell phones that they have today. Before I went in, I think I had one cell phone that was in a bag and it plugged into a lighter, and of course it just made calls. Then I had another cell phone, the big brown one.
Yeah, the brick ones.
And then I had another one. It was kind of a long thing. It was from Radio Shack, and it was Tandy. It was Tandy Vision. That was a model that was made by Radio Shack. But of course, the cell phones didn't have social media capabilities. They basically just had the function of you could call. Of course, and if you stayed on that motherfucker too long, your bill was gonna be about $1,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were expensive. They was nothing like they are today. Basically back then, doctors and dope dealers had cell phones. That was it. The bill was extremely high.
Doctors
and I remember the one I bought from Radio Shack. It was like $1,100. They were expensive too.
What?
Yeah.
$1,100?
$1,100. Yeah,
man, that's the price of a new iPhone 12. People, golly, with a whole lot of good functions. So you come out, and I'm not sure if you had a phone inside or not, but you come out and you see what the phones are capable of doing. How does your mind react to that? Like, you could just sit here, you could watch TV, you could call someone and talk to them and look at them. Explain that. That's the only thing.
Well, I was already familiar with those capabilities because, I would say maybe about 2005, 6, somewhere up in there, prison started being extremely popular. Cell phones started being extremely popular in prison.
Really?
So, I ended up having a cell phone in 2011, and I never forget, my buddy, my cellie was Miles, a guy named Miles. He was from New Orleans. And he was asking me, hey man, let's get a cell phone. And I was telling him, no, man, I'm cool. I don't need no cell phone. You know, I said, because I got a few people I can call. I can always call my mom and have her make 3 ways. I got a couple of homies I can call. I don't need no cell phone. I'm good, you know. So one day he brought the cell phone up in there in the cell. And he was showing me, and I said, I didn't know it, you know, it had the capabilities that it had. You could go on social media. You can hop on YouTube, Facebook, you know, because I'm thinking of a cell phone as just the old type of shit that I had, you know. But yeah, so once I seen that, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we got to get one of these motherfuckers, you know, yeah, hell yeah. And so at the time, too, now, cell phone was going for $600. So we ended up getting, well, actually, I ended up moving out. And me and my buddy KG, we went half on the cell phone. Me and my buddy KG from Dodge City, the one who started calling me Arthur Trash. And so eventually though, you know, it's 2 people. At that point in time, he'd probably been in jail already about 20-something years. I'd been in there probably about 18, 19. 2 people who ain't never had access to no cell phone, you know, you can't share no cell phone. So he ended up being like, that's okay, man, I'll go ahead and buy my own cell phone, you know, because 2 people, like I say, who ain't never been on no cell phone, you know, you got all these women you can look at, you know, people, you know,
exactly.
And in prison, when we go to make a phone call, the phone call is only 15 minutes. So that 15 minutes go by fast as a motherfucker. So now, imagine being able to get on the phone, being able to sit up on that motherfucker all night, you know what I'm saying? Call whoever you want to call. You know, that was something that was just wonderful. So, you know, so when I had my cell phone, I remember at one point in time, I happened to run across a newspaper, Radio Shack, and my cell phone was $15 at Radio Shack. I'll never forget, it was a Verizon Flip. But in prison, I bought that motherfucker for $600. Yeah, so.
Wow. So whoever was getting them to y'all was making a pretty penny.
Oh yeah, they was making a killing.
They was making a killing. Hand over fist.
So to answer your question, so by the time I was released, I was already aware of what a cell phone could do. And now, to be honest, I had my cell phone for about 7 or 8 months. I told myself that when I got caught with it, I wasn't gonna get another one, because around that time, 2011, lifers had really started to go home more than ever before. So, but